Mr. President, when would you like the country to fully be reopened to the way it was before, as you mentioned?
Well, we talked about it, and very strongly Josh mentioned safety, have to have safety. But at the same time, people want this country open. The people here want it open. And there is a danger to too much being confined to a house or an apartment or wherever you live. You can't, we got to start moving along. And with all of the testing we're doing, with all of the things we're doing, you can do this now. And governors are actually, a lot of pressure is being put on governors right now by the people in their states. They want to get it open, and that's what you want. That's what we all want. And with all of the procedures and safety, we've learned a lot about this hidden enemy. We've learned a lot. And there'll be pockets of fire, and we'll put them out. We'll put them out very, very quickly. But, you know, during this period of time, I think we've really learned a tremendous amount about how to handle it. Nothing easy, but we want safety. So we want safety, and we want economic, where people can go and make a great living and go back to living the way, I mean, you had people, we had wonderful people in yesterday where the business was going to be lost other than what we did, Steve, with the great programs that we set up. Their businesses were gone. One man, he was a chef with 5 children, and his mother lived with him and his wife, and he lost his job for the first time in his life. Some of you were there. And you had others that were equally so. It was pretty amazing. I thought it was pretty amazing display of what we've done to help a lot of people. And you have millions of people like that, millions that have been helped where they wouldn't have a job right now, and where the small business would have closed. Now, these are big businesses, but the small businesses would have closed. And I think it's great when WIN, which is a terrific group of people, but when Matt says that, you know, we're supporting all of the people, I know what that is. That's a big, you practically a full staff and you have no income. That's a big thing. That's a great thing. I hope you're rewarded for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, it's a tremendous thing.
Is there a target date?
Well, yeah, its target date is as soon as possible. Some states are already open. I mean, they're opening up rapidly. We have a number of them opening up on Monday. We have a number of them opening up sooner than that, as you know, or at least partially opening. Some of them even even with a very strong bent toward opening, they're opening up where they'll open a certain amount here, restaurants at 25%, then going to 50%, and ultimately, we want to be back to where we're 100%. We don't want. I had one restaurant owner come up to me and said, "Sir, you know, I'm going to be opening up, but if I distance too much, I have 50% of the restaurant I had." I said, "And you'll also have a worse atmosphere." We want to be back where we can have. We want it to be the way it was, because the way it was is the right way. We can't have somebody with a half a restaurant. You understand? He had 175 seats. Now he's got half. That's not going to pay the rent or whatever. Same thing with an owner. I was on the phone with the commissioners and some of the owners of sports, of big-time sports, and he was talking almost like he was going to have 2 or 3 seats in between everybody that was there. And I said, you know, you're not going to have to do that for that long. You know, you're going to be back. He said, really? Oh, really? He was like, I don't want people to get used to this, because this virus is going to be gone. And when it's gone, you want to get back to normal. You're not going to have a stadium that's 30% the size of what it was 3 months ago. If I watch Alabama play LSU, I don't want to see 20,000 people instead of 120,000 people. We want it to be the way it was. Now, we've got to wait till it's gone, and it will be gone, and we've done a lot to get rid of it. But we want to open our country. The people want this country open.
So this 100% scenario you're laying out, going back to the way it was, is that before the vaccine or after the vaccine?
So a lot of progress is being made on a vaccine, but you never know, right? You never know. You know, with SARS, they didn't come up with a vaccine, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they do. I will say this, I don't think there was the same effort, because a lot of people don't know what SARS is, and some people do. But they do come up with vaccines. I mean, you look at what's happened as an example with Ebola, with AIDS, with others that have been so incredibly successfully if not eradicated, certainly it's been incredible what some of, with what these people that I'm dealing with right now, like Gilead today, with, what they came up with as an example, that's far ahead of schedule. So we're looking for vaccines, we're looking for therapeutics also. I mean, I think therapeutics right now, if you gave me both, I'd rather have the therapy, because that, makes people better right now, whether it's helping them along or makes them better almost instantly. We have to see. But there's tremendous work on therapeutics going on, and I think we're having some good results. One of them was Gilead today.
100% the full restaurants, the stadiums, theoretically could come before the vaccine.
I'm not relying on that. I hope that's going to happen. Johnson & Johnson, Oxford, you hear a lot of very good stories. I'm hearing them really firsthand, good stories, very promising, but they have to test it. Maybe it's not safe. Maybe it eradicates it, but it's not safe. And, they have to do testing with vaccines, whereas the therapeutics, it goes a lot quicker in terms of the process. No, if you don't have a vaccine, if the virus is gone, we're like we were before. But having a vaccine would be a great thing. And I think we're going to get there in this case, just based on what I know, but we'll see what happens. Look, the Gilead research has been, that's gone so fast. That's gone at a level of speed that nobody's ever seen before. And that's a stepping stone. So I think they're doing very well. But no, I want to get back with or without. But I want, obviously we have to wait till it's gone. It will be gone. And we want to be back to where we were. Yes.
Without a vaccine, sir, why do you think the virus will just be gone?
It's going to go. It's going to leave. It's going to be gone. It's going to be eradicated. And it might take longer. It might be in smaller sections. It won't be what we had. And we also learned a lot. Again, if you have a flare-up in a certain area, if you have I call them burning embers, boom, we put it out. We know how to put it out now, but we put it out. And now we're equipped. Now we have more ventilators than anyone thought was possible. I mean, we're doing a tremendous service for the world right now. We're giving ventilators. We're making hundreds of thousands of ventilators in, I believe, 9 different plants that made other products, in some cases cars, in some places other things. These companies, General Motors and Ford in another way, and GE, so many companies, Honeywell, they've stepped up. 3M has been terrific. They've stepped up like nobody's ever seen before. And the job they're doing is great. And I'll tell you, I think the job that they're doing on vaccines and on therapeutics has been great too. We'll see. We'll let you know about that in a little while.
Just on that point of this going away, not to belabor the point, but isn't it going away because people are staying in their homes and people are not traveling, and once they come back out, there's no evidence that it would go away?
Maybe that's it. And I cannot tell you how dedicated the people of this country have been in terms of that. Yeah, one thing, if you stay in your home, you're not catching it. If you stay in your place and you don't go out, and which is what people were doing, but they want to go out now. They want to get back, and they want to do what they have to do. And some of the facts are coming out, and we did all the right moves. I tell you, we were talking to Mike before. If we didn't do what we did, you would have had 1 million people die, maybe more, maybe 2 million people die. And if you think that we'd be at 65 or 70 or 60 or whatever the final number would be, 1 is too many. I always say it, 1 is far too many. This should have never been allowed to happen. Should have been stopped a long time ago before it ever got here or to other countries. But if you really think about it, you could have had, I take a look at Elmhurst Hospital, or I take a look at some of these places that I know growing up in Queens, and I know Elmhurst Hospital, I know these places very well, like the back of my hand. And you'd see body bags lying all over the hallways and outside and going into refrigerated trucks. And multiply that number by 10 or 20. If we didn't do what we did, it wouldn't be acceptable. It wouldn't be sustainable. Nobody would have accepted that. It would have been a terrible thing. We've done it right. I can't believe how incredible the American people have been, because they went out and they really did this, Chris. When you think they went out and they did what they had to do. every once in a while, a country like Sweden will be thrown out, or Brazil. Now, Brazil's having a hard time because they're having a hard time. But Sweden, the people in Sweden, they're not running around and shaking hands and hugging and kissing each other. The bars are closed and the people are staying in the house. The prime minister doesn't have to say in Sweden, stay in your house. The people stay there automatically. And, they're using that as an example. But they've been hit hard. But again, you call it automatic. I mean, it's automatic distancing, it's automatic protection. But places were closed, the bars were closed. You can't stand at the bars, you can't do certain things. What we did is a great tribute to this country. But if we lose 65,000 people, it's so crazy to say it, it's just so horrible. But if we lose 65,000 people, and instead of that going the other route, we would have lost 1 million or 1.5 million or 2 million, it's possible. It's possible that you lost more. But could you imagine, look how horrible it is to lose 65 and then multiply that times many, many times. That would not be sustainable. So I think with all of that, I want to just thank everybody, and I want to thank these business folks are just tremendously talented people. People have no idea how talented they are, the job they do, and we're getting our way back, I think, much faster than people think, and I think it's going to be a much more successful launch than anybody would have thought. I really think next year is going to be a tremendous year, and I think the fourth quarter is going to be, Larry, I think the fourth quarter is going to be fantastic. I can feel it.
I feel great. Thank you.
Yeah, I can feel the demand. It's going to be really fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody.